Alrighty, in this video what we're going to do is set up options for controlling our graphics in-game. So without further ado, I'm going to load up the pause menu. I'm going to do this in the pause menu rather than the main menu because I want to be able to change the settings and quickly check that they're actually affecting the game as I test them. So, alright, just like with the main menu, when you do this, you're going to want to drag out a canvas panel, parent it here. I'm not going to worry about setting up the events for hiding buttons and showing buttons. I'm going to just do it in a little side panel next to it, just for the sake of speed of the tutorial. So text. So the things we're going to set up are right. We're going to have some headings. This one will be we are doing FPS. So we want the user to be able to control the FPS. I'm going to center everything. Control. I'm going to paste. We want to be able to change the screen resolution. Screen resolution. We're going to also have anti-aliasing, anti-alias quality. I'll just keep copy and pasting. This one will be shadow quality. Shadow quality. Right. So with that done, I'll select all of these and yeah. Okay. Right. Yes. Right. Just space these out. So we've got space to work. Right. There we go. Right. So we next know what's on buttons. So each one is going to have, I don't know, 3 buttons. Make them quite easy to hit. Bang. Bam. And bam. I think that one's a bit. No. There we go. Let's try and get the alignment. Even space. Yeah, ish. Alright, and with that done, I'm going to quickly copy and paste these. So I've got 3 options for everything. Here we go. Now I am silly. I should have put text on these first. But what I'll do is, with this one, medium, text. Wrong one. Okay. So for the resolution, we'll do 320p, 720p, and 1080. For the FPS, we'll have 15, 30, and actually, rather than having buttons for these ones, I'm going to let the user control the frames per second. Where is it? Text box, text box. Here we go. So the user is going to be able to enter what frames per second they want the game to run at. And anti-alias and shadow quality will just be low, medium, and high. Beautiful. Right. So I'm not going to enter the information on these ones as well because it just takes too long. Right. So from here, what we need to do is we'll start off with the buttons. Right. So on released, as we've done for everything else, we want to do execute console command. So console commands are If you've ever used Skyrim, played Skyrim, when you can enter in little cheats or commands straight to the engine, or it's similar to writing the command prompt on your PC. So if we go to our browser, UE4 does have a reference here for command line prompts relating to graphics. They're all organized into families. So here we've got r.motion blur, blur, buffer, ambient occlusion. Then down here we've got the same again, same family. We've got things for translucency of lighting. As you go down, you can control the texture resolutions, everything. There's a whole world right there, but we're just going to kind of scratch the surface today. So this button was screen resolution. So in the command box, we want to type in r.set res. The values we want it to actually be set to. So 320 resolution is, let's quickly get a guide up, screen resolutions. So images, let's do no, I want a nice easy to read chart. 320, 320, 320, 320. Where is it? Alright, we'll go for 480, 640 by 480. I'll change that text quickly. 480. There we go. Right, so here, so 480p is there it is, 640 by 480. So set res 640 x 480. Let me just make sure I've typed it out correct. Yep, and afterwards we can type F for full frame or full screen, or we can type in W. If we leave it empty, it will just carry on with whatever it's currently set to. So I'm going to just leave it at r.set res 640 by 480. I can't zoom any closer than that, but I will link the scalability reference here on Moodle. So if I just go back, I'm going to copy and paste this code. Whoops. Sorry, I just want all of this. So Control C, and I'm going to go back. 720p, quickly add an event. Released. Execute. We'll paste that in, and this time we just change it from 640 by 480 to 1280 by 720. And 20. And I'll just quickly check that is right by the chart. 727. Where is it gone? There it is, 1280 by 720. Yeah. Okay. And then the last one for the resolutions, we can add an event on released. Execute console command. We'll paste it again. 1920 by 1080. So if I quickly save that, play the game, and pause my game. Aha, I can't test it there. Standalone game. I think it's going to go through. Okay, cool. Right. So 5 to pause my game. 480, it downscales. But we've lost half the interface because I haven't set up my anchors to minimize. Okay, right. Back here, go away, auto save, pause menu. Right. Okay. Okay. So let's quickly fix this. Boop. File save. Right, let's quickly try that again, just quickly. Okay, pause. 480. So most of my screens come in, but we've not got everything. Right. Okay. So moving on, I don't want to spend too much time with that. It is just a game of playing around with the anchors to get things to scale up right. So that's that one, FPS, yep. That's a child of this. Okay, right. So doing the anti-aliasing, we'll just do the same thing. We'll select these buttons. Can I add event for all of them? No, that'd be too easy. On released. So I'm gonna just do this for hell, low. Right. So again, we're gonna execute command. Execute console command. So this time for anti-aliasing, what we need to type in is r.post process. So R stands for rendering, and it's just a family of functions. AA quality. So r.post process AA quality, and then we've got a scale between 0 to 4 and 6. So 0 is the worst. I'll quickly just duplicate this a few times. 2 is medium. 4 is high, and then 6 would be ultra. Just quickly add events for these. Released. That links up to there, and high links up to the last one. There we go. Right, so compile and save. Just quickly jump back into game. Right. So, if we set the anti-aliasing to low, right, when we resume playing, we can see that, I don't know how clearly it'll come out on the stream, but all of the edges on the platform have become really jaggedy. They're no longer being smoothed out, and the same for the character. Things are really not fantastic. Let's quickly close that. And damn, I should have showed it working with both medium and high as well. Live and learn. Right, so we come up. At the moment, just kind of paying attention to the edges around the platform. They're all perfectly smooth. There's a nice straight line. You can't see any kind of pixelation. But when we set the anti-aliasing to low, it speeds up the rendering time because it's not having to sample the screen and smooth out those edges. So even things like where the two different meshes meet together to create that middle platform that the collectible's on, the divide is really jagged. It's horrible. If I just quickly set it to medium and resume, it's better. It's not perfect. As you move the camera around, there's definitely kind of tearing between the objects. And when we put it to high, it's way less noticeable if there at all. Okay. So the last one is setting up shadow quality. So let's quickly add a command for the lowest one, released. So execute. And for this one, it is sg.shadow quality. And again, is 0, 1, 2, 3. 0 is low, 1's medium, 2's high, 3's ultra. So turn 0 for this button. And we'll just duplicate this. And this will be 1. And this will be 2. Okay, just gonna add the buttons quick. Medium, event, cool. Link that up. There you go. Pressure's getting to me. High. Release. There we go. Feed that in. Bang. So this one, the difference between low and medium isn't so noticeable, but from 0 to high, there's definitely kind of a difference in what you can see. So if we're looking at the shadow on the stair, right now it's relatively good. We pause it, we set it to low. We instantly saw that it's no longer doing those kind of ray tracing on the character to figure out where his shadow should be landing. If I turn it to medium, it's back on. It's pretty good. it's not very smoothed out. I can see kind of pixelation in the shadow. Turn it to high, and this time it's using a lot more rays. It's a perfectly smooth shadow, and it looks way nicer. So let's just quickly turn the menu. No, I'll close it that way. Right. So the last one to figure out is the user input, so they can set their own controls. So we could have boxes here for screen resolution where we just have one box on the left, one on the right, with a little stacked X in the middle to say, you know, let the user set up their own screen. But I think that's a bit dangerous, really. Right, so the FPS. If we scroll all the way down, we've got two different types of events here. We've got on text changed or text committed. The difference between these two is on text changed, that will be as soon as the user starts typing things in, things are going to start changing. So in terms of screen resolution, if you think you've got that kind of event engaged, as soon as they're typing in the 1 for 1920 by 1080, like they type in the first digit, the entire resolution on the screen snaps straight across. It's not usable, it's not functional. So you have to think intelligently about what you're doing. But if you're doing a slider with a text box entry, then maybe that would be okay, because it's something that's a soft impact it's having. It's not something that's going to drastically change their gameplay or their ability to see the game. So FPS on text committed. Enter. Text committed is there's two different types of way of committing the text. You can press enter, or when the user shifts their focus to a different object by clicking out of that box. So in this case, we'll do it by making sure that it's been ticked. So if we drag out, we want to do equals to enum. So we want to check how they've committed it. So by default, it would be, you know, that the user's either shifted focus away from the box or they've pressed entered. If we do it so that it only takes effect when the user presses enter, branch, we drag that across. So if the user has pressed enter, we want it to execute command. Execute console command, and the command is t.max FPS and then the number. So to get the number, what we need is I didn't write this bit down ahead of time. I am cheeky. Right, okay, we're going to figure this out as we record. So back at the beginning, we want to take this, the text that the user has entered. We're going to convert to string. So the information came in as text, which is a different kind of variable to a string. The string is going to be appended to... I ain't silly. I know what I'm doing. So the string we're going to append it to is t.max FPS space. You have to put the space in, otherwise the information is going to get put into the wrong place. And I've actually done this backwards. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm going to just Control C that. I'm going to switch the slot that this feeds into. I'll right click, break link, so that slot A is empty, and press enter and copy and I'm just going to paste the command back in there. So how it's going to read is A will be printed first, and then it's going to add in the user's value on the end, and return value will go into command. Command, save. So now, if we play the game, I really hope this works. Right. Please don't fail me now. Right, here we go. 5. So we want a frame rate of 15. Okay, so I press enter. There we go. It's instantly way more choppy. Press 5. We'll change it down to 5 and press enter. Resume. Oh, look at me! I can pretend my machine's rubbish. And back here, just to kind of check that we're not introducing unintentional behaviors. If I type in 60, so we know it'd be smooth, and I just press resume. Okay, so it hasn't changed it because I hadn't pressed enter. So let's go back. I click on the box, press enter, resume, and it's nice and smooth again. Okay, so that's all there is to the state of solving graphics. I did look at doing audio stuff as well, but it looks like you need to have external plugins downloaded, which we won't be able to use on the college machine. So in this instance, if you do have any audio assets, it's just a case of making a reference to them in the UI and disabling, and then having the button to re-enable. Using other videos, that should be well within your ability.